patient's first visit in the intake form is going to be critical for us fulfilling the strategy of preeminence. The intake form in the patient's first visit is going to allow us to connect with them in a way that fulfills that strategy. The intake form is going to ask several very important and detailed questions. The first part of the intake form will ask the patient to identify one of the 5 areas we've highlighted for light therapy. Those areas are pain and healing, cognitive health, pre- and post-operative, general health and wellness, and athletic performance. The next question we'll ask is how long the problem has persisted. The options are less than 5 days, more than 5 days, less than 30 days, more than 30 days, and is the problem getting better, not changing, or getting worse? The next section asks them if they've been evaluated by a medical professional and gives them the choice of which medical professional they've been evaluated by. If they're dealing with pain, we ask them a pain scale. From 0 to 10, we ask them to rate their pain. 0 being absent from pain and 10 being unimaginable pain. We then want to find out what is 1 or 2 things that their current condition limits them from doing. After that, we want to establish their goal on the same numbered scale, 0 being absent from pain, 10 being unimaginable pain. We then follow that up with asking them what is the one thing that improving their condition would allow them to do that they can't currently do. We repeat these questions through the other 4 areas that we've highlighted that can be addressed by light therapy. For cognitive health, the questions would follow. On the cognitive scale, the scale would be 0 being no cognitive deficit and 10 being non-functioning. We'd ask them where they rate on that scale. We would also then ask them what is the one thing that their condition prevents them from doing. We would follow up with what is their goal, again on the same 0 to 10 scale, and then follow up with what is the one thing that improvement in their condition would allow them to do. For the pre- and post-op scale, 0 would be greater than 6 weeks until their surgery, and 10 would represent more than 5 years after surgery. We would follow up with what is the one thing that their condition limits them from doing. Again, asking them the 0 to 10 scale for their goal. And finally, what is the one thing that an improvement in their condition would now allow them to do? For the general health and wellness scale, 0 would represent optimal health, 10 would represent their body is operating at a train wreck. Where do they rate on that scale? What is the one thing that their condition keeps them from doing? What is their goal on the same 0 to 10 scale? And what is one thing that an improvement in their condition would now allow them to do? On the athletic performance scale, 0 would represent they fully recover within 24 hours after exercise, and 10 would represent they never feel recovered after exercise. We would ask them what is one thing that condition keeps them from being able to do, and then what is their goal on the same 0 to 10 scale, and finally, what is one thing that an improvement in their recovery would now allow them to do. The next section asks them any tests they've already had relating to their condition, such as x-rays, MRIs, or medical evaluations. Next, they would be asked to circle locations of pain on physical diagrams. We also want to find out if their condition is localized to a small central area or generalized throughout the whole body or a large body part. We want to know how often their condition occurs. Is it present always or intermittent? Next, we want to know what kind of symptoms their condition causes. Examples would be dull, achy, or sharp. The next section asks them what problems their condition causes. This section asks them what things make their condition worse. That's followed by a section that asks them what things make their condition better or improve their condition. The next section asks them to rate their condition both at rest and with a range of motion test. Finally, we ask them if they're taking any medications including the name and dose and how often for their condition.